Today's video is all about this big monster in my dirty paws. This is the B&S Medusa, and it's a baritone saxophone beastie. This baritone saxophone belongs to a friend of mine. Big shout out to Jon, that's you out there. It's actually his girlfriend's 40th birthday. So what better way to celebrate her 40th birthday by doing a video about his baritone saxophone? I'm sure there's much more fun ways they'll find to enjoy her 40th birthday, but let's move on from that. Have a great time. Anyway, baritone saxophone time. If you know my channel, you'll know that I do like B&S saxophones. I think they're very nice, especially value for money. But this thing is the Medusa, so it's a little bit more, let's just say, expensive. So this baritone saxophone was a little bit unloved. And while I'm here, look after your saxophones. Stop being horrible. Stop abusing your little poor babies like this. Anyway, rant over. I'm sure this will be fine until the next time. But it is what it is. It belongs to a party band. So what do you expect? Anyway, moving on. What I did, I had to clean this thing inside and out. It was, let's just say, a little bit funky. Yet again, another polite way of saying horrible, 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 horrible. But anyway, this is now cleaned up inside and out. It's working fine. And my decision to feature this on the channel is because B&S saxophones are quite hard to come by, especially in the baritone version and especially the Medusa version. So let's have a look around the baritone. Medusa, made in Germany. And this thing you can see is a little bit more used and stuff like that. I'm a fan of this look. I love the whole used look. But this is now all regulated, all set up and cleaned up inside and out. It's ready for action. It's party time on this baritone saxophone. The action, the key work is very nice. It doesn't have a high F sharp. Yet again, I've said it in other videos. I'm quite a fan of saxophones without the F sharp. It doesn't feel old fashioned. It feels very modern. To be honest, it feels a bit more like a tenor. When you're playing this baritone, you feel a bit more like playing a tenor, apart from the obvious thing like the size and the weight, but the key work feels more tenorish. And when I got this little baby in my paws, it had this big smashed up area here. I've managed to get this out and smoothen it out. It's got some scratches and signs of wear, but you know, it's a party band horn. Like I've said before, what do you expect? Dun 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 dun. There's my friend, the octave key, and it's got a little pal next to it, the low A key. It's a low A baritone saxophone, and I'll give that a blast a bit later. The left-hand key work is right there. You got your auxiliary F at the front there, and that looks like a smart little idea. Somebody's put a brace from here to here with a little screw-on device there. You can take it off if you want, but that adds a lot more support to this area. So there it is, the B&S Medusa Baritone Saxophone. Here we go. Yeah, ringing nicely. So let's get right into it. Let's have a little blast on this. And I'm using an Otto Link Supertone Master 7-star mouthpiece with a 2.5 reed and a Selmer ligature. And I'll write that in the description below. So I'll speak to you lot after the demo. The snake-headed monster herself, the B&S Medusa, is not a monster at all, only in sound, and that means in a good way. This is a really nice playing baritone saxophone. As I mentioned earlier, when I'm playing it, it feels almost like I'm playing my tenor. And yes, it's a baritone, it's much bigger, much heavier, but it feels very comfortable. Now, I've had loads of baritone saxophones in my time, and I've played a lot in my time. And this is right up there with them. It plays fantastic. I'm not really a principal baritone player, but you can still hear it plays really nice, great sound. And I forgot to mention one thing. It's got this engraving on the front. Let me just show you the Medusa's head. Now, don't turn to stone. There it is. You can see the engraving of the Medusa there. Check that out. You can see the engraving of that lovely Medusa's head. And this Otto link was a great combination with this baritone. I felt very comfortable on it. I'm actually not a fan of Otto link mouthpieces for myself to play, especially on tenor, but on baritone, that's a totally different question. It's really, really nice on baritone. So I'm not converted fully to Otto links, but on baritone, yeah, I like it. And yet again, another little rare beauty, which I like to throw out here on my channel for you lot out there, and also for my benefit, because I love trying new gear, and it sort of encourages me to play and play more and more, and practice a lot more. So that can only be a good thing, or maybe not such a good thing for the neighbours around. So making a long story short, I like this B&S Medusa. It's a really fun playing baritone saxophone. And I'm a fan of B&S saxophones in general. I call them the underdog of the saxophone world for a reason, because that's exactly what they are. And if you get the chance to try a B&S, I don't think you'll be disappointed, because they are really well made and they play very nice with a great sound. But that's just my view on this snake-headed little monster, the B&S Medusa Baritone saxophone. It was a lot of fun actually, just to noodle up and down on it and to jam on it. And sadly, I've got to give it back to my friend tomorrow. He's got a gig on it, and please don't drop it. No, please do drop it, because then I can get it back and play on it a little bit more. So I hope this video has helped you lot out there, opened your eyes up about this B&S brand, or particularly the Medusa Baritone saxophone. So if you want to suggest for something for me to play, or a bit of equipment for me to try, or a microphone, or whatever it is, just write it in the section below, leave a comment, and I'll do what I can to get around to it. Click on the notification button, click on the like, click on the subscribe. You know the drill. Catch you later. You will see me in the next video. Have a great day.